Gil Gamez, welcome and thank you for your patience. And a teammate with you.
Yes.
Is this Bobby?
Bobby.
Bobby Artiaga?
Artiaga, yes.
Artiaga.
I
Okay.
just call him whatever.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon or good evening at this point, I'm not sure. I'm going to read, this is a redacted report of Officer Artiaga's gun arrest that he had this past Friday. And I changed some of the things, so I'm not naming the school, I'm not naming individuals' names, so bear with me as I read. On Friday, May 4th, 2018 at 8 a.m., I, Police Officer R. Artiaga, badge number 1026, employed by the Los Angeles School Police Department, was assigned to an East Los Angeles high school. While conducting a safe passages in a black and white marked police vehicle at the high school, I saw two males standing on a driveway across from the school, across from the football field. I recognized the first male as a former student of the high school. He was described as a heavy-set male Hispanic wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt with a red stripe down his sleeve. The second male was wearing a black t-shirt, black pants, and he had a thin build. I did not recognize him. As I continued to observe the two males, one of the males started staring at our students as they walked to school in an intimidating manner. As they walked past the property, the males looked in my direction and then walked into the house out of sight. Further, the home is a known gang home where gang members live and is a nuisance to the community. Due to the heavy pedestrian and vehicular traffic, I continued my safe passages by driving on the perimeter of the school. When I returned to the location, I was flagged down by a female adult employee of the high school who reported that a possible fist fight was about to occur. I maneuvered my police vehicle through the vehicular traffic and responded to the area. I was flagged down a second time by a female adult, possibly a parent, as she said in Spanish, El gordito tiene un pistola, which roughly translates to the chubby guy has a gun. As I approached the area, I saw the same former student who was standing on the driveway at the location. When the former student and I made eye contact, he walked into the front yard. I immediately drove to the front of the house. When I arrived, I saw the subject bend behind a green freezer and place an unknown item behind the freezer. I immediately exited my police vehicle to determine if the subject was the chubby guy in possession of the gun or possibly in the fist fight. The subject walked out of the front yard. I asked the subject what he was doing, and the subject said, "Nothing, I'm on probation." At that time, the subject was approximately 15 feet away. I told the subject to lift up his shirt so I could check his waistband to see if he had any concealed firearms, due to the description the parent gave me. The subject complied and lifted his shirt. I did not see any firearms in his waistband. I decided to check behind the green freezer to determine what the subject placed behind it. I observed a blue steel firearm with a semi-gloss wooden handle, that's evidence number one, behind the freezer. I secured the firearm.
You guys sharing time?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
I secured the firearm, which was loaded and rendered it safe by removing the magazine. Additionally, the firearm had 6 bullets in it. I looked for the subject who fled the area while I was securing the firearm. I requested for additional school police units. As the units responded to my location, I placed the high school on lockdown due to the proximity of the rapidly unfolding incidents which interrupted normal school operations. When I requested additional units, the property owner exited the property and gave me consent to search the property. I requested units to establish a perimeter. The following units responded. 3 hours after the search, the subject was located in the backyard. Based on the sequence of events, I placed the subject under arrest for violation of California Penal Code 626.9 BPC, possession of a firearm on a school zone. I attempted to check the serial numbers of the firearm by running them in the system, but the serial numbers were obliterated. This is a violation of California Penal Code 23900, obliteration of identifying marks. So obviously there was a fight. Obviously there was a gun that parents and other people observed. So this lonely school police officer, and the vast majority of police officers in the city of Los Angeles are two-man units. They go by themselves. They have somebody to watch their back. So he fields the call with an individual with the gun. He puts the call out, calls for additional units, finds an individual, finds a gun, and he was approachable enough by the parents. He was, in that area, many people don't want to approach the police because they're afraid of the police, this and that. But this officer established a rapport with the school staff, with the neighborhood enough for them to flag him down to basically save the day. So what happened? There was obviously a fight. Obviously, somebody had a gun in their hand. A single officer unit obviously went, found the individual. No other classification in LA Unified has this task. No other classification in LA Unified is supposed to see somebody with a gun, put themselves in harm's way, go at it by himself, his or herself. Only the school police officer does that. That is our job, and we do that well. This is not an example of the school-to-prison pipeline. This is an example of a protector. This is an example of a sheepdog-type guardian protecting the most precious thing in life, which are our children, protecting them, and he kept somebody from getting shot, period.